I was never the type of man to fall quickly, not until I met her. Anna walked into my life like she'd been rehearsing it. She knew what to say, how to smile, how to make it feel like destiny. I was working late in a bookstore when she first appeared. Rain poured outside, but she looked calm, not lost, not panicked, just present. Like she'd been waiting. She asked for a book on psychological danger. I thought it was an odd request and handed her something by Patricia Highsmith. She smiled, flipped through it, then stared at me and said, "You know, you look like someone who's never been truly seen." That night, we talked for hours. I closed the shop late. She walked with me, and by the time we said goodbye, I was hooked. She didn't just study people, she dissected them. Anna would ask questions that cut deep, like scalpels. Do you lie when you're alone? What was your last secret? Have you ever hurt someone and enjoyed it? At first, I thought she was just eccentric, but the way she watched me made me feel exposed. She remembered everything I said, even things I muttered under my breath. She'd recall them days later, twist them into jokes, or use them to finish my sentences. Still, I fell for her. In the beginning, it was beautiful, passionate. She would leave notes under my pillow, send messages at 3 a.m. that just said, "Dream of me." But slowly, I began to lose parts of myself. She hated when I saw my friends. She claimed they were jealous of us. My female coworker, Anna, said she was obsessed with me. She started suggesting I cut people off. Cleanse your circle, she called it. I did. Looking back, I didn't see the trap until I was already inside it. It wasn't just emotional anymore. She wanted control, full access. She'd unlock my phone while I was sleeping, read my emails. She even found my childhood journals in a storage box and highlighted parts in red ink, writing things like, "You've always been like this." Then one day, she showed up with 2 plane tickets. "We're going to the cabin," she whispered. "What cabin?" I asked. She kissed me, smiled. "Where love goes to grow wild." I said yes. We flew to Oregon, then drove 5 hours into the mountains. The cabin looked abandoned. No Wi-Fi, no signal. The windows were boarded from the outside. She said it was for safety. Inside, the place was curated. Dim lights, old photographs, antique locks on every door. But what struck me most were the portraits. They were everywhere. Paintings of men, different faces, but all carried a similar expression. Wide eyes, frozen terror. Each one was placed like a shrine. "Did you paint these?" I asked. She nodded. "They were important to me once." That night, she made me tea and asked me to tell her the worst thing I'd ever done. I said nothing. She smiled. "I already know it." Later, as I pretended to sleep, I heard her whispering in the corner. No phone, no one else, just her. The words didn't make sense, like chanting or rehearsing lines. And then, silence. I woke up in a cold sweat. She was gone. I got up, crept through the dark, and saw her standing in front of one of the paintings, tracing her fingers over the man's face. "He thought he could leave," she said. I froze. "He said he loved me, then tried to run." She turned slowly. I stepped back. She smiled again. "You won't make the same mistake, will you?" I told myself I was imagining it. Maybe she was sleepwalking. Maybe I was paranoid. But in the morning I checked the car. Battery was gone. Tires slashed. When I confronted her, she didn't deny it. She simply said, "This is the part where we face the truth together." That day, I searched the cabin while she cooked. In the basement, I found a locked room. The door had claw marks. Inside were stacks of notebooks, not mine, theirs. Men's names, profiles, notes on behavior. She had files, some handwritten, some typed, all describing intimate details. Resists control, submissive when isolated, ideal candidate, emotional void. And then, I found my file, my full name, my past, my fears, dates, recordings, a diagram that mapped out how long it would take for me to be fully dependent. I ran upstairs, but she was already there, holding my phone, smiling. "You skipped a chapter," she said, then threw the phone into the fireplace. What happened that night was a blur. She locked the doors, hid the keys. I begged. I tried to reason with her, told her I loved her, that we could fix this. She laughed. "I don't want love. I want complete understanding." Then, she opened a drawer, pulled out restraints. "I won't hurt you unless you lie." What followed were hours, maybe days, of questions, isolation, and her exercises. She called it therapy, but it was something else. She wanted confession, obedience, emotional surrender. One night, as she slept, I used a piece of broken wood from the bed to pick the lock. I tiptoed out, barefoot, through snow and forest until I found a road and collapsed in front of a snowplow truck. The police never found the cabin. When I returned with them, it was gone. Burnt. Ashes and ice. No signs of Anna, no files, no paintings. Just one note left inside a jar near the edge of the forest. It said, "Some art must be destroyed to be fully seen. I'll find a better canvas next time." I haven't seen her since, but sometimes I hear from old friends, people I lost touch with. They say they met someone, a woman with strange questions, a way of staring that makes you forget your name. She goes by different names now, different stories.